Hello, little children. Hello. I'm back. Now, why am I back? No. Why did I take a break? Because suddenly, Auntie couldn't think of any stories. I thought and I wrote and I thought and I wrote and I deleted and I wrote again, and none of my stories worked. And then, one fine day, I overheard a real life incident, and that gave me an inspiration. And with that, I have come today with a story about a 11-year-old girl named Dhwani. She's a regular girl like you, like your friends, like any of those 6th or 7th graders who go to school. Now, you know what happened during the lockdown, right? You never went to school. You were studying from home. You were doing online classes. And Dhwani was also doing the same. But when schools reopened, Dhwani's parents decided that it was high time they moved her out of the school that she was in and they put her in a new school. A new school which was much better, which had much more facilities, which had sports and horse riding and skating and swimming and so many more things. Dhwani was also excited. But Dhwani was scared too. Why was she scared? Because this was a new school. She did not know anybody in the school. She had no friends in the school. All the teachers were going to be new. All the children in her class were going to be new. And all the bhaiyas and didis in the school were also going to be new. Would she be comfortable? Would she be able to go to school? Would she be happy in this new school? We don't know. Even Dhwani didn't know. She was scared. Now, the school that her parents had put her in was a little distant from her place, from her home. The earlier school, she would just cross the road and she would be in school. But for this school, this new school, she had to get into the school van, and then they would cross three signals and cross a turnaround, and then she would reach her school. On the very first day of school, Dhwani's mama had to go for a meeting. So Dhwani's mama would not be there to pick her up. But mama was not worried because the van bhaiya had promised that he would take care of her. The van दीदी had also promised, हम देख लेंगे ध्वनि को, हम उसको सेफली स्कूल पहुंचा देंगे और स्कूल से सेफली वापस भी ले आएंगे. So Dhwani's mama was happy. And so, on the very first day of school, Dhwani's mama put her on the school van and waved bye and said, "Bye, have a good day, have fun, and I will see you when you come back. I will be back at night, so I will see you at night." And so, little Dhwani, 11-year-old Dhwani, went to her new school. The first day of school was very exciting. There were so many new children. Even the classrooms looked different. These were so different from her classrooms. Her earlier classrooms only had two windows. But this new school had so many windows in each classroom. It was well lit and it was windy and it was so bright and beautiful. The teachers had painted across the corridors, so there were small stories in each of the corridors. Dhwani was enjoying it. And then she went to class, and the girl who sat with her was just as sweet as Dhwani, and the two became friends. Now, the entire day, Dhwani spent her day in school feeling happy and feeling so excited and enjoying everything. During recess, all the children were taken to the mess. Now, this was a new experience for Dhwani, and she loved it. Imagine getting into a bus from your school and then driving down to the mess which was in the campus but far away. Having lunch, quickly gobbling up hot lunch, and rushing back to the classrooms to attend the next set of classes. Dhwani was excited. This is going to be fun, thought Dhwani. And so, slowly, the day progressed, and soon the last bell of the school rang. Ding, 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 ding. And Dhwani and her new friend quickly picked up their bags, said bye bye to each other, and rushed down to catch their respective vans. But you know what happened? When Dhwani came down, she was suddenly overwhelmed. There were so many children. In her previous school, there were only classes in nursery, junior, senior, first, second, third, and fourth. These were the only classes, so you can imagine how many children there would be. And the new school had nursery, junior, senior, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th also. Oh my god! Suddenly the entire ground got filled with children. So many children. Dhwani had never seen so many children all together. And these children were so big. Imagine a 10th grader standing next to a 6th grader. They'd be so big. And then double that. Imagine a 12th grader standing next to a 6th grader. Oh my god, so scary. Dhwani stood at the gates. Where's my van? Where's my van? I can't see my van. And then Dhwani got scared. Her school left at 12:30. It was 1 o'clock. And still no sign of the van. Slowly, the grounds cleared out. The big school buses left. The small school vans left. The children who walked across to their homes had left. There was nobody on the ground. There were some grown up children, but they were all standing together and talking. Now Dhwani was scared. Where was her van? How would she get home? Even Mama was not in town. Oh my god! And Dhwani panicked. She's panicked. Oh my, what will I do? What will I do? I'll get lost. Oh my god, something will happen to me. Oh my god, oh my god. And then suddenly Dhwani remembered something that her mama had told her. Her mama had said, when you are facing a tough situation, first take a deep breath. So Dhwani did just that. Breathing in and breathing out relaxed Dhwani. She was anxious, but she was not as anxious as she was before. Then she thought about what her mother had told her. Her mother had told her that if ever there was a situation where you were stuck and you did not know what to do, especially if you were in school, what should you do? You should first go back into the school and go to the administrator's office. And so Dhwani turned round and ran back into the school, and she ran to the administrator's office. And as Mama had told her, there were staff in the administrator's office. As soon as they saw a young girl run into the office, the staff realized something was wrong. So a lady got up and went and asked her, "What happened, beta? Who are you? Which class are you from? What happened?" And Dhwani started crying. And Dhwani said, "My van has gone. I couldn't get into the van. Today's the first day of school over here. I'm a new student. I'm in grade 6 and I'm scared." And you know what the staff said? The kind lady in the administrator's office said, "Relax, beta. I will help you." And so she made Dhwani sit on a chair and asked Dhwani, "Do you remember your van bhaiya's number?" "No, this is the first time I came in the van." "Okay. Do you remember the van Didi's number?" "No, this is the first time I came in the van." "Okay, relax. Do you know your mama's number?" "Yes, I know my mama's number." "Okay, tell that to me." And so Dhwani told her mother's number, and then the kind lady in the administrator's office called up Dhwani's mama. Now, Dhwani's mama was on her way out to a meeting. She picked up the phone and she said, "What happened?" So they said, "The van has left." So Dhwani's mama said, "Give Dhwani the phone." Dhwani was given the phone, and mama said, "Dhwani, take a deep breath, relax, do not take any tension, and mama promises you that she will have somebody pick you up from school." So Dhwani relaxed. And you know what Mama did? Mama, as usual, like all mamas, weaved her magic. She quickly called up Dhwani's brother, older brother, and told him, "You go to school to pick her up." Then she called up the van bhaiya and asked him, "Why didn't you pick up my daughter?" And the van bhaiya apologized. He said, "Sorry, madam, I couldn't see her, so I didn't know this child." So Dhwani's mama said, "If you don't know the child, at least you know that there is one child in your van. You go back to school, go to the administrator's office and apologize." And so the van bhaiya said, "Okay." Then Dhwani's mama called up the administrator and said, "My son is going to come and pick up Dhwani, and the van bhaiya is also going to come. You please shout at him. I will see how he is not doing his good job." Then she called back Dhwani's brother and said, "You must go to school immediately and wait there for the van bhaiya to come." And so, within 15 minutes, Dhwani's older brother and the van bhaiya, the driver of the van, were both standing in the administrator's office looking at Dhwani. And you know what? As soon as Dhwani saw her brother, she was so excited. She went and hugged him, and then she started crying because children get scared. I also would cry if something like this happened to me. Actually, something like this happened to me. That story for another time. But for now, this is Dhwani's story. And so, Dhwani's mama ensured that Dhwani's brother was there to pick her up, and together, Dhwani's brother and Dhwani got into the school van and came back home. And you know what? What did we learn from this? We learned that we must always, always, always report this to the higher authority in a school. What would have happened if Dhwani had stood at the gate crying? Maybe somebody would have come and taken her away. Maybe nobody would have known Dhwani was there. And maybe Dhwani would have sat there hungry and tired. Something could have happened. But what did Dhwani do? Dhwani followed her mother's advice. Her mother had told her that when something like this happens, if ever something like this happens, you must go to school. You can talk to a teacher in school, or you can talk to the admin officers in school, and you must tell them your problem. You must seek help from an adult in your school. The second thing, Dhwani remembered her mother's phone number. Isn't that important? Knowing a phone number of either of your parents or both your parents. You must know both their numbers. So if you can't reach one person, you can call the other, right? And the third most important thing is to keep your calm, is to keep your cool. If you're anxious and worried and excited and confused, what will happen? We won't be able to think straight. We'll add to the confusion. And so, Dhwani remembered her mother's advice. She took a deep breath, let it out. Again, a deep breath, let it out, and then was able to think clearly. And because of that clarity of thought, our dear little Dhwani, 11-year-old Dhwani, was able to save herself and come back home safe and sound. How does the story sound? And I must tell you, this is a true story. This happened to my friend's daughter. And I'm so proud of that little girl for thinking smartly in times of crisis. And I know that all the children who are listening to me are smart. So remember, children, always take a deep breath, think calmly, think of a solution. We can cry afterwards. But right then and there, we need to think of a solution. All right. So think about this. Tell me how you like the story. I shall be back again soon with another story with another smart little child. And I want to hear from all of you. Love you. Take care. Good night.